Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach. And if you're new, please subscribe because you really are going to learn a lot of things just on this channel outside my coaching that you're never going to learn anywhere else. Now, having said that, though, I really do recommend coaching if you're serious about changing your life and making real progress. And that my coaching is unlike any other fucking coaching on the internet. The reason I know this is because my clients tell me so all day long. And the reason I know this also is because I've researched it, okay? Most coaches on the internet get on Zoom sessions with you once a week, if that. And I've seen coaches who have the audacity to claim they're coaching people via texts and emails alone. Now, I don't fucking know what kind of coaching you get this way, but I want my coach to get on the phone with me regularly and be available to me. My coaching consists of audio exchange as well as phone sessions. Now, you have two very good packages on my website. The link is directly below. One is unlimited audio exchange, which I will explain what it is. It has 5 phone sessions included, but mostly it consists of audio exchange back and forth. You record an audio, I analyze it, I take amazingly precise and thorough notes that it's almost like a transcript of what you just told me. But I really want to listen to it more than once because I'm really fucking curious what you're all about. I need to know who is this person who is in my coaching and how can I help them. Every single word, I listen to it. If I don't hear something correctly, I listen back to it more than 5 times. And I want to be able to understand your background, your childhood, your adolescence, everything you're all about, the troubles that you're having, so that I can be equipped to help you. So in my coaching, we really dive deep. This is why the audio exchange, you record yourself starting with childhood, and then I give you back my analysis via my own audio. Now, your audio needs to be 20-minute max. My audio always surpasses that. Or at least, if you send me an audio less than 20 minutes, it will be around 20 minutes as well. Okay, usually I have a lot to say. All of my work that I do here is channeled. Most of you that are on my channel, have been on my channel for quite some time, notice that none of this is my own in a sense. I channel. I put myself in the feeling of receptivity and I channel. A lot of things, like when I record things for people, I don't even remember what I said. I need to listen back to it. Like the other day, a client recited back to me an audio that I recorded a long time ago, and I couldn't remember a single thing. I kind of remembered it, but I didn't. So that's how it goes. It's all channeled. So it's an exchange of audios back and forth covering your history. Why is that interesting to me? Because I really am curious about your belief system, why you have produced the drama panorama in your world, and so that we can reconstruct those beliefs with the work that we do in the coaching. Now, I recommend 2 to 3 months in my coaching. You can do a month and then see for yourself how really thorough this coaching is, and then renew, no problem with that. Okay, so upon booking my coaching, you do need to pre-book if you want to be coached by me. You need to sign the agreement, the coaching agreement that's attached to every single package. You need to email me, and we need to schedule our first session. It will be a phone conversation that will be recorded, okay? The second package that is amazing is phone sessions only. Again, we speak 2 to 3 times per week. Parenthesis here, nobody offers this on the internet, okay? Speaking to a coach 2 to 3 times a week over telephone sessions. Show me this fucking coach and let's discuss. It doesn't exist, okay? I record that phone session with your permission, of course, simply because I need, again, to take my notes. Reason why I don't do Zoom sessions is because I could, but it's not really as profound as having a conversation over the phone, which is recorded, and then I get to take my notes, because I'm a sort of like a detective of your life, you could say. I love taking notes because then I can like view it as a map of your life and then be like, here's the pattern, here's what we need to work with, here's what we need to adjust. This is why recording yourself, either via audio or being recorded on the phone, is so profound, because it gives me everything I need to help you. Okay, so at the next session, when we have our next conversation, in the case of unlimited phone calls deluxe package, it's on my website again, the link is below. We reconvene with my feedback, okay? And you tell me more and we discuss. Obviously, the price is higher because I need to go through an hour of conversation and take my notes, as well as interacting with me live. Again, both packages are amazing. You just need to pick what you prefer. I personally have a preference, if you're just starting out, to do the audio session first, and then you can upgrade to the phone calls only or mostly. And you know what? If you're in my coaching, I usually give a discount to those already in my coaching, and those people who have been in my coaching for quite some time know this about me. Okay, you can book my via my website, via Zelle, or via Cash App, and that's all things are equally fine. I do prefer Zelle just because there are no fees and this and that, and it gets to me a lot quicker. If you have any questions at all, you need to message me via email or my phone number. Okay, everything is below, and let me know when we can schedule our new our phone session once you have your booking completed. Now, this will be a really important audio. I felt it when I was like writing down my notes. And I really started writing down a lot of notes because a lot of this will go into my book whenever this will be fucking published or ready to be published. There's just so much, and I really want to include the most important things that will revolutionize people's lives, quite frankly, because that's what I'm here for. The subject of today is transmitting your new story to your SP. Now, of course, this does not have to be a lover or a romantic interest. It could be anybody. And this does not have to take years or months. We're not interested in fucking this kind of situation. We're looking for immediate results. Now, again, parenthesis further is that this is provided you already been in coaching with me, are in coaching with me, understand what the fuck's going on in the universe, and it's beyond the law of attraction or laws of assumption. I mock those two expressions. I'm more into the law of me. The law of me. Capiche? In other words, what I say goes, and everything else floats. Floats away like driftwood. Anyway, that's right. So, to establish the background of the situation, all stories are true. The story that you're telling yourself right now about your SP is true. The story that you could be telling about your SP, the preferred version, is also true. Pick the one you want and live there. Okay, another title that I had before that for my subject was Live in Your Story. But that was kind of boring, and that was not really kind of like on purpose for me. It's more like you transmit your new story to your SP. Like, this is the program, motherfucker. This is what we're doing now. I know we've done other things, and it was like really kind of like boring for me, really fun for you to be acting out and doing all this shit. But now we're interested in doing fun things for me. You have to make a very profound, but at the same time, very kind of like delusional, it seems like, a decision to completely ignore 3D. And there's so much said about 3D, but basically it's a reality. It's a reality that you keep choosing. 3D is a reality you keep choosing. I don't know fucking why. It doesn't serve you, whatever. And so once you choose a reality, it comes with a certain situation, a certain feeling, a certain other reality, different timeline, you might say, all right, where the problem does not exist anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? It's an entirely different situation. It's like, if you went to a shitty restaurant where everything was like out of whack and the waiters were rude and poorly dressed and the food was shit, and suddenly you upgraded to like, I don't fucking know, Cipriani in Manhattan or something, where everything is like they lick the gem of your toes, and Bellinis galore and everything is wonderful. This is what I'm talking about here. You have to make a new story. You have to make a new transition to the parallel realities and stay there. And once you make that decision and that shift in your mind, make all the circumstances, however shitty they still are, and signs conform to your new story, okay? Don't change the story. Stick to it. Otherwise, you sound like a lunatic, all right? This is what a lot of people are doing, okay? They say, yes, I want my SP. I want them to behave this way. I want them to be loyal and faithful. I want them to be my husband or my wife. I want them to be this way and that way, and they have not been that way before. And then you do that, and even if you script it or affirm it and this and that, 90% of the time you go back to saying something else. And in fact, you look like a little bit of a lunatic, because it's like, well, which one, darling? You're making too many commands to the universe. Too many commands, and the universe is like, I don't know what the fuck you want from me right now. So I'm going to be like, get back to me when you're ready to make a decision, because I'm confused. And that's actually to your benefit. When the universe is confused, it delivers nothing. And that's to your benefit. This is why no movement is created. And it's still a creation, parenthesis here, because you're giving too many commands. It's like, one day it's this, the next second it's that. So stop investing your stock in the old story and the old version. It's a very bad investment. Be confident in your choices of the story. So everything is possible, and everything already is, right? So you can say, oh my goodness, but this is so far-fetched. But is it really? No, it's not. Everything already is. Everything already exists. You just have to make a choice. And stick to it, and stop sounding like a lunatic, changing your mind every 5 fucking seconds. It's as if like you're booking a flight and you're like, I want to go to Paris, no, to London, no, to San Francisco, no, to fucking Dubai and South Africa. And hello, how are you? Can we just go to Paris for a weekend and you can shut the fuck up already? Yes, okay, we can do that. Or maybe move to Paris, or maybe move to San Francisco. Be on purpose. Stick to your story. And someone like your SP could have been diametrically opposed before, and you just ignore it and change it out of change it out for what you want them to be. It's like, you know what it's like? The metaphor that comes to mind, like, in modeling, when I was modeling, they would change out the background from white to black. Sometimes, it's nice to have a black background for certain dramatic shots, and then there's a white background to have it more clearly seen what the designer wants to see on a model. Change out the background. All of a sudden, you change this person completely. It could have been diametrically opposed, like white and black. Now they're this way. And that's your creation, though. It could happen in a split second. I've heard these stories from my clients. I know these stories from my own personal life. It's like there's no rhyme or reason in this. I've changed people overnight to be like completely accommodating to me. And it was like, how did this happen? Honestly, I don't even bother with these questions anymore. I just know the answer is me. I intended it and I created it. And I was unapologetically so creating it. Because some of you still have this fucking hang up, oh no, it's against the law of nature. And no, the law of nature is that you exist as a creator of your reality. And you might as well, get together with the program at some point. Otherwise, you always be on the losing side. Now, the most important thing I want to point out is that you're selling this new story to yourself. You're the one who needs to be convinced. Not the other person, no, you. You're the only one in the room, you're the only one in charge, you're the CEO of your fucking life. You're the only one with the decision making, okay? Like I said in the beginning, and you're the only one who needs to be convinced that this new story is 100% true. This SP has changed, they're coming back apologizing, they're being this way and that way. They've understood that they've done you wrong. They've concluded you're the one. Whatever you want them to do, they will do it, and they will be that version. In another parallel reality that you just left, parenthesis here, of course, there are innumerable parallel realities, but we're just, for the sake of example, we're using it's like one reality versus the other. They're still the asshole they were. They're still a womanizer. She's still like a nutcase, and she's still kind of running around or whatever the fuck she's doing. There's still that person, but in this reality that you're transferring yourself to, it changed. Everything changed to your preference, and you better get used to it, because this is how reality creation actually works. You can do it from day to day if you allow yourself to believe in it, or you can procrastinate in your belief or not allow yourself to believe in it and take months and years. The choice is entirely yours. Defying logic is the name of the game. It really is. When you learn how to do, and for artists in particular, like I've coached a lot of artists before coming on YouTube for like 7 years, and then I started coaching on YouTube a year ago. It's very easy for them to imagine something different. For non-artists, I find it's a little bit of a challenge, because there's a lot of logic. The logical mind comes in a lot. You need to defy logic and allow yourself the possibility of things being completely different if you want them to be so, all right? You have painted something shitty, like some shitty fucking masterpiece that you don't like looking at it. Well, become a different artist, all right? From shitty to marvelous, you can become, just apply your power and write a new story that completely suits you. The power is the same. Okay, the power is still the same. You're just applying it in the wrong direction. On the flip side, the same power exists. You just, like I said, you're being a god of your reality, so much so that the power allows you to create shitty things. It's just as easy to decide to create something marvelous. My whole thing, honestly, with this piece, since I've started discussing them, is that I don't understand why people struggle with it. And perhaps I'm the best teacher to bring your SP back for that very reason, because people make it so fucking complicated on the internet. It just boils my blood. The thing is, it's, for me, honestly, it has been like, I shared my story of my first SP, and I realized from that moment on that it's a lot easier than you think. And I was 16. I started manifesting when I was 12, but at 16 I realized bringing back a person ain't a thing. It's not it's the easiest thing of all things. Everything is easy, but that's the easiest thing of all things. The premise should not be, how do I bring them back? The premise should be, I should be very fucking careful what I wish for, because it's going to come true. Do you know how many times in my personal life I've written something down, or I scripted it, and then thought, well, I don't really care about it this much, or completely forgot about it, or just wrote something down and it came true, and it all came true, but verbatim. Whether I cared about it anymore or I care deeply, I just have this belief that everything I want comes true. And quite frankly, this is the belief that you need to cultivate in your own manifestational game. And this is why I work on beliefs in my coaching so much, because I really am curious what is out of whack, what kind of fucking situation is going on in your engine of beliefs that you don't understand, that it's actually your power is so magical and enormous that you have it in reverse. It should be like, I'm afraid to say something because it might come true. That's my world. That's my situation. That's what you really are. But somehow you have a pile of shit of beliefs in your living room, like I always say, that deprives you from seeing the real floor. I just came up with it. Perhaps you have beautiful wooden French floors underneath, but you can't see it, my darling. You can't see it because it's covered with shit. It's called beliefs, shitty beliefs. They're the most powerful thing, and I'm going to leave you with this because I don't want to make this any much longer. There's going to be a part 1 to this or something. I don't know. I have too many notes, and I have to run to my meetings. You have to energize this outcome that you are creating, this new story, with a feeling. Okay, it's just like Neville Goddard says, the feeling is the secret. So in emotional language, if you're depressed, if you're sad, if you're confused, dissatisfied, and this and that, you do not have the power to manifest this new story. Sorry, not sorry, but it's just the truth, all right? So your job is to elevate your being to a higher ground by feeling love, joy, contentment at the very least, euphoria, okay? And so that feeling, let's just say euphoria, is your gateway to the parallel reality that has this new story playing out. You're not able to manifest a new story if you're still residing in the same dissatisfied state. Because if you're dissatisfied, you're going to attract dissatisfactory circumstances, events, and versions of people. When you activate this feeling, you activate the reality. And this is where, again, delusion comes in. Nothing on the outside has to tell you that you have to be happy. It's not like you look at something wonderful and you get happy. No, the reverse is true. You need to get happy in order to see something wonderful on the outside. In other words, if your SP was exactly the way that you want them to be, how would you feel? You would feel elated. You would feel on top of the world. They texted you. This version not only texted you and contacted you and begged for reconciliation and this and the other, but they actually the version that you really constructed in your mind, that story that you really constructed, that feeling, that gateway, the portal to that reality, that's the feeling you want to achieve. And so if you can master this, you can change any outcome on a dime, from shit to magic. Seriously though, I've done this so many times in my life. I know my clients have done it. It's not only possible, but this is how the universe works. This is why the parallel realities are so instrumental in understanding and how it really works. The idea is to really, at the end of the day though, to make it normal and to make it natural. It has to be that, yes, of course, duh. Yes, of course it's coming. It doesn't have to have this overwhelming feeling of like, oh my God, if this happened, like, you know, my mind would be blown. Okay, temporarily maybe, but you have to be like, you know, this kind of like a white witch in the middle of your universe where like, please, I can change the weather. In fact, I have. I can manifest any amount of money. In fact, I have. I can manifest any SP. In fact, I have. You can do anything, but you have to have this confidence in the belief system in place where it's like, nothing derails me. You can choose the reality that is completely sidetracked from what you want, or you can choose, quite frankly, the most marvelous fairy tale that has ever existed and is always available to you. So how long does it take to incorporate your new story in your visible 3D and this and that? This is everybody's question. The minute you totally fuse with it and buy into it and have no more temptation to go back to the old story, you start being that person, walking as that person, thinking as that person. You completely embody that whole situation. You live in that world. And so you're transmitting to your SP whatever they're going to do next. Whatever you want them to do, they will do. Because you're living in the new story. You're thinking differently, and therefore they're thinking differently. They have no free will. They have no mind of their own other than the one you're communicating to them. And it will be like magic. And you will say, oh, Anna, this was magical. No, this is just quantum physics. This is just how it works. Because they will come back and tell you verbatim what you wrote down. They will be the person that you wanted them to be. And, if you really don't understand still, you'll call it magic. This is a one-time thing. No, I'm talking about living in that kind of world. I'm talking about being the magician for life. Okay, I'm talking about this making an everyday occurrence, and nothing else will do. All right. Thank you very much for listening. If you want to get coaching with me, all the info for me is below. Thank you very much. And again, until next time. Bye-bye.